What up, world? I'm Steve, founder and CEO of Crypto Crew University. This is where we keep crypto simple. Today we have another exciting video, but we have some dangerous signals coming into the market. You must know what those signals are and what they mean for you. If you're new here, join the movement, hit that subscribe button right now. We're going to start this off by introducing you to Eli. Eli is a part of the Crypto Crew. Eli is from Australia. This is Eli and his wife. I believe he said this was Venice. This is Eli's story before and after taking my classes. Before taking the classes, Eli said, I hadn't realized it, but I've been totally lost before watching you on YouTube. I had literally burnt through a chunk of my cash. Since taking your classes, the cash burn has stopped. I have gotten huge amounts out of your classes. I now have much more confidence. Steve, I feel like an idiot that it took so long to sign up to your classes. I wish I signed up sooner. Thank you, Eli. Thank you, Eli, for sharing your story. This is something I hear a tremendous amount from my students. It's my biggest point of feedback. My students say, Steve, I wish I signed up earlier. Guys, listen to Eli. Don't wait any longer. Everything you need to sign up to the classes is linked down below. If you have any questions about the powerful crypto classes, my personal email is down right now. You can save $65 on the top selling crypto class combo on the website. The intermediate paired with the advanced. That link is down below as well. So thank you to Eli. It's looking like you are having fun in Venice with your wife. Now, we're going to jump into today's video. It's jam-packed. You can see all the charts up above, and we have some new altcoins to cover thanks to the Crypto Crew. I'm going to let you guys know how you can get your altcoin covered in a few minutes. But first, we're going to jump into Bitcoin. We're going to talk about the big picture and then the short-term small picture and what these dangerous signals are that are coming into the market. There are 5 signals that we're going to cover. Before we get to that, we're first going to leave where we left off on the previous videos. So a few videos ago, we were in this situation where we were about $6,000 and we pointed out the bullish divergence that had been forming in the charts, and we called for a change in trend. We called for an increase in price in a nice way when everybody was calling for down movement, and we were correct. We were spot on with that call. We had bullish divergence, and I'm very happy that you guys learned about this. I got a lot of messages. Steve, thank you so much for covering this. I'm learning so much in your videos. I love to hear that, so thank you for those messages. So we had that. We had bullish divergence. We had to move up. Then in the next video, we talked about, hey, this was a engulfing candle. We were heading up. We had our second engulfing candle here, and we left off on this candle on the last video. We talked about on the last video how this was our second engulfing candle, and more than likely in the next 2 days we were going to be heading higher over that $6,600 level that we called for in the previous video. And we talked about how more than likely we're going to be heading to 6,800 in the next day or two. And if we zoom in here, that's exactly what happened with this candle a few days ago on July 4th. We went to exactly 6,800. Now we've correctly called this move so far, but today we're going to talk about what we expect next in the short term, and then what's that bigger picture look like. So we had talked about in several videos, the bigger picture is that potential move to 10K. The question you may have right now is, Steve, is this move still possible? Yes, everything is on track. In fact, we had called for a potential pullback around 6,800 or 7,000. And we had talked about how that was already in the cards. So this move to 10,000, as we've pointed out, it's a slower move. It's still going to take at least 5 weeks from now, maybe 6, 7 weeks from now. We'll have to see how the charts play out. So yes, in the big picture, that move to 10K still intact. However, we need to cover the short term in these 5 signals that are coming into the market. And then we're going to get to some altcoins for you guys to make the crypto crew even happier and more learning. Signal number 1 is this pink line we have here. We've talked about it. We've alluded to it in other videos. 6,800. It's a critical level. It's no joke. How to tell if the level is critical? Look left. All the secrets in the charts are left. If you want to know what's going to happen to the right, you have to look left and look for the clues. So 6,800, we talked about how we went right to it and were met with resistance. The reason is simple. It's been a significant level for a long time. You see these 2 arrows right here? That had a battle with 6,800 and it held as pretty strong support. Right now, it's resistance. Even before that, the bodies of these candles right at 6,800. And even before that, way back in the glory days, you guys remember the glory days, that was critical support and resistance during these points here. So 6,800 is signal number 1 that we are met with strong resistance. All right. Signal number 2 that's coming in, if we look in the middle of our chart here, that's our RSI. Again, we're on the daily chart. This is Coinigy. To all of my students, you guys know you have free access to Coinigy and free access to every single chart I do here on YouTube and in all of our classes. You can see this chart when I post a video, BTC USD copy. Come in, play with all the lines, all the arrows that we have on here for further learning. So this level right here on the daily RSI is right at about 50. And we talked about it in previous videos. We said on the last video that we were just met at this resistance point. We had changed the trend in the RSI. We're met at a critical resistance, and it's a powerful one. It's been a critical level you can see for several years as critical support or critical resistance. And right now we're holding on it and we're holding on for dear life. A good sign is if you look at the really short term, we are creating some higher highs here. We have to see how this plays out, but we do have some signals that are telling us that we could potentially see our pullback here in the near future. Remember that pullback that we have been talking about? We went on a nice run. We had talked about how we're potentially going to have a nice little pullback and then a continued run. And it looks like we're getting very close to that becoming reality. So signal number 2 is this extreme resistance. So not only do we have resistance at 6.8K, we've got extreme resistance on the RSI. The third signal coming into the market that is a warning sign, a dangerous signal, is that we're overbought. Right? Anytime that we're overbought, we need to be cautious. We need to stay 2 steps ahead of everybody else. So overbought is simply when the stochastic RSI is above 80. And we said that we can stay above 80 for 10 days to 14 days. We've been above 80 for 7 days. All right? So we've been overbought for 7 days. We're also overextended. We don't have a lot of momentum to move up. And you know what we need to pass this critical level and this critical level? Momentum. So that's signal number 3 that we need to be concerned with. Signal number 4 is what we've alluded to before, this 50-day moving average. We had talked about we're more than likely going to see a little pullback when this 50-day comes a little closer to us. Now it's at that level we had been talking about, rated about 7,000. So could we see a possible little breakthrough and then a pullback at 7K? We could. We could. It's not as likely for that scenario to play out. it's more likely for this 50-day to move down even a little more and us test 6.8K again. And if we fail again at 6.8, then we're probably going to see that rejection and pullback. But we'll have to see how the charts play out. But that's the fourth signal. The fifth one is on this next chart here, and this is the Fibonacci retracement. This tool a lot of people have heard of, but there are so many misconceptions on how to properly draw this. If you don't properly draw it, it's going to lead you in some very bad directions. So this is covered in the advanced class and expert Fibonacci retracement. What we're seeing with the Fibonacci is this 0.023 level right here. Oddly enough, not oddly enough, it's not coincidental at all. It's right at 6.8, pretty much. It's at 6,760. We'll call it 6.8. But obviously, clear resistance here to coincide with the support and resistance that we see. So this is essentially a level that is based on human behavior, human psychology with money, and scenarios that continue to play out over history of mankind. The Fibonacci has been around for a very long time. So this is telling us also that we're met with some resistance here, and it's been that way for a while. So that's signal number 5. Now we're going to talk about what's happening in the very short term. So that's kind of the big picture synopsis. Let's look at the really short term scenario. If we do have a pullback, which we expect, again, we could test this 6.8 again. I hope we do. And if we're rejected, the level that I really want to watch on the downside, a level that we've pointed out before, is 6,250, 6,266, right around there. We don't want to break that. We want that to be our support going forward. All right, we don't want to give back this whole move. We want to see some support there. So look for that to happen. All right, we want to hold that. We would love to break above 6,800. But again, we pointed out 5 signals that are coming in that are making it a little bit difficult. You can also see us curving on this 100-day moving average here. We're on the 6-hour chart now. We're on the 6-hour chart now, looking at the smaller picture. We are curving on this 100-day and the 50-day. You can see that we caught on the 50-day and we bounced up. We caught on the 100-day. We're curving along, and the 50 and 100-day are having a little party there at the center. So we'll see if we can continue on this 100-day and not break through it. And also we want to hold that level. So that's what's going on in the big picture and the small picture. But according to these danger signs, be prepared for a slight pullback. Be prepared to test 6.8K again before this pullback. But again, just be ready for these 2 levels. Now, we're going to talk about a couple more altcoins. You guys, we've done feedback on this channel. You guys want more altcoins, so I'm giving you more altcoins. You can have your altcoins selected by doing simply this: commenting on this video, A, with a positive comment, and B, tell me which coin you want covered. So today's winners, we have Ray. Ray says, check out Litecoin. Thanks for the info. It's not super positive, but this is the first time we've announced this positive thing. So Ray, Litecoin, we've got for you. The next one, Advander. Advander says, oh, Advander is liking my new hairstyle. Thank you, Advander. And he says, check out your favorite Cardano. So Advander, we've got you with Cardano today. ADA will be covered. And DigiClear, one of my favorite channels. Would love to see Icon. One of my favorite, well, DigiClear, I hope that we can change that and it become your favorite channel. We'll work on that, DigiClear. So those 3 will be covered for you guys. First one, Litecoin. Let's see what's happening in the charts with Litecoin. So we haven't covered a lot of Litecoin here. It's been struggling. What I'm seeing first, the first thing I see when I look at this chart is we broke market structure. So we had clear market structure in Litecoin right at the big even of 100. And this was a critical level for Litecoin's history, we broke that. We broke market structure, and you can see what's happened since then. We created a new low. So Litecoin is in a clear downward spiral. I don't want to make it seem very dramatic, but that's what it is. Another thing I'm seeing critical level with the RSI with Litecoin right at about 40. So there are several critical levels with the daily RSI, but 40 is this level on the downside that's been critical support and resistance. When we're in an uptrend, it's clear support. When we're in a downtrend, it's been resistance. It's been resistance now for the better part of a month and a half. All right, and we've held below that, and you can see what's happening right now is we just got rejected from that level, the 40 level on the daily chart here. You can also see our stochastics have crossed and heading down. We still haven't crossed the 80, so we're not really concerned, but we're pretty close. So if you're a Litecoin fan, pay attention to that 80. If you see a cross below, we're going to see a little bit move to the downside. But Litecoin needs to have some recovery. One level that I'm watching here in the big picture. So now if we take a step back, we look at the big picture and you say, Steve, where is a critical level that we could see in this bear market for Litecoin? It's this pink level that I put in here. It's right at $48. I know this is going to scare some folks, but again, this is a bear market. All right, we could have a move to the upside, this near-term move, but we're in a bear market. One of the levels that I would like to purchase a bunch of Litecoin is at 48. This is not financial advice. I'm not your financial advisor, but it's the most critical level in Litecoin's history. You can see that we've had clear support and resistance for this entire move. It was also a clear layer of support during right before this run-up. Oftentimes when you have a big blow-off top run-up and a huge downfall, go back to its previous support level right before the run-up. It's right here at 48. So that's one level that I'm watching. When would I expect that to happen? In the next 4 months, 6 months maximum. I expect us to see this type of level with Litecoin. Maybe sooner. We'll have to see how the charts play out. Cardano. We're going to cover Cardano here on CoinMarketCap because there's not a tremendous amount of data on Coinigy. And this is also another way to look at charts where you guys can really learn how I look at what I call a naked chart. There's no moving averages. We have no trend lines. There's no distractions. We can just look at clear price action and in a linear chart, not a candle chart. So what I'm seeing here with Litecoin, we're on the linear scale. What I would like to do is have you go to the log scale and you can see kind of a different story. The most critical level that I see right away with Cardano is 10 cents. All right, I would hate Cardano to go to 10 cents, but that may be a stopping point in the future. In the next few months, look for that potentially happen. In the short term, look for Cardano to have a bounce. We held market structure here. We bounced down from 11 cents. We were around 13 cents for an extended period of time. Also, if you scroll past, 13 cents was a critical level with Cardano. So Cardano has held up better than Litecoin, but again, we're still in a bear market, and look for us to have a short-term play to the upside, but in the long term, look for 10 cents to be an incredible purchase opportunity in the next few months. Next up, because you guys voted in the comments, this is Icon ICX. We have ICX USD. We're on the one-day chart here on Coinigy. Here, what I'm seeing is similar to that of Bitcoin's play, where we had our first bottom, our second bottom, and our third bottom pierced through. Very similar to that of the general setup of Bitcoin that we see in today's chart. We had this pierce through a little bit fierce down to $1.11, But if we look at the big picture in Icon, we're still doing okay. We're not in terrible shape. Like Litecoin hasn't held up very well. Icon is still holding on, but we did break market structure. All right, that's significant. We can't overlook that. You can see that the moving averages are a little bit behind. Anytime you see a coin on Coinigy or TradingView, whatever you're looking at, and you don't have a ton of data yet, you can see that the 200-day moving average, we just have just 2.5 months, 3 months of data. So I hate to do a full analysis without the proper amount of data. However, it's clear that market structure, a break of market structure, is significant. If we zoom in and we try to get a better understanding of what's happening with support and resistance, the critical level that's coming up right now is this $1.89, $1.90 area. It's going to be a little bit of a struggle to get past this area, and we may see a rejection from this area. We'll have to see how the charts play out, but we are trying to move up. We did have a long wick here, and 189 is in the short term a price to keep in mind. On the downside, I don't want us to fall below $1.35. I don't want to see us fall below there. So those are the two levels that I'm keeping in mind with Icon. Now, I want to make a huge announcement. This is a big announcement, one that's very exciting for me, and there's a ton of excitement about this announcement because my students are well aware of what this announcement is. I'm going to lay it on everybody. So the announcement is we have a new class series that's going to be launching. I can't wait for this. And July 15th, mark your calendars. July 15th at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, you guys will be able to sign up to this new class series, save a ton of money because it's going to be a pre-sale. So for a limited time, you can sign up, save a bunch of money, and get in early on this new class. So there's a ton of excitement behind this class because it was highly voted by my students. So I had all my students vote on which class they wanted to see next. This one was a runaway winner. The topic is how to trade like a pro. We're going to be covering stop limit orders, stop loss orders, how to trade like a pro, what are the top 10 trading tips that you need to keep in mind? And a big question is, Steve, if I have $10,000, how much of that do I buy at one time? Do I buy it in different coins? How do I break up that 10,000? And when I sell, do I sell into Bitcoin, into Ethereum? Do I sell into Tether? What do I do? So can't wait for that next series. Mark your calendars, July 15th, 2 p.m. Eastern Time. It'll be a small window of time for you to sign up and save a bunch of money. The next announcement is, oh, that's right, Eli. We learned about Eli. Thank you again, Eli, for writing in, but don't make the mistakes Eli did and a ton of my students. Don't wait to sign up for the classes. Sign up right now. Everything you need to get started is down below. My personal email is down below. And save $65 on the top selling crypto class combo on the website. Link is in the description. It's for the intermediate and advanced. I hope you guys are having a beautiful day. I look forward to your positive comments with what coin you would like to see next. We'll keep our close eye on how this plays out, and we'll be back with an updated video. Peace and love to the crypto crew. I hope you guys are having a beautiful day.